Hi, welcome back everybody. So today I kind of wanted to go over a new tool in the Grademyfinance website here, which is a financial stress test, which I think this is really cool and useful to have in case you're wondering, what happens if there is a crisis in my life, whether it's job loss, a medical event, it could be anything such as a home repair, income reduction, stuff like that. So I kind of want to walk you through just an average income, assets, spending, debt for a normal person and what it'll look like in case of a major event. So I hope you guys find this tool useful and hopefully you learn something. So let's just take a look at Bill here. Let's say Bill is 30 years old. Bill makes $6,500 a month after tax. His expenses are $2,500, including housing, transportation. We have everything else that would go inside of there. Bill's assets are he has 50,000 in his retirement, $25,000 in his stocks, 4,000 HSA, cash reserve of 15 grand, and for his debt, he owns about 20,000 on his student loans. He owes $5,000 on his car, 500 on his credit cards, and $2,000 for a personal loan. So as we go through the calculator here, we will just take a peek at the overview. So Bill is currently a C for his total financial grade. He's in a decent financial shape. There's obviously there's room to grow there. And so we will go down to the stress test. So in the meantime, there's been a lot of cool tools that I've added to the website here, but one of the new ones that I think is great and cool to look at is the financial stress test. So as we open this up here, we can kind of see it's weighted out of 100 to see how strong you would be in terms of a financial event like this. And as we scroll down here, we are going to highlight job loss and kind of see what they'll look like. So with his cash reserves and his stocks brokerage, he has a starting amount of $37,048. And we see here it factors in his monthly burn. So this will be the burn rate each month that his money goes down. And you can see that it's not a complete deduction, as we've also factored in his unemployment benefit at 40%. So as we scroll on here to the full breakdown, you can see the unemployment benefit down here. And you can also play with a lot of the numbers in here, month to find a new job, estimate monthly debt payments, but we're going to look at everything fixed now as the numbers we put in. But you can play around with a lot of things in here to kind of simulate each scenario so you can see what it will look like in case of a disaster like this. So as we go through his monthly burn plus the unemployment benefit, you can see you have month 1, 2, 3, and then month 4 being his lowest liquidity, which will bring him down to $33,994. Now, we're assuming that his income resumes in month 5. Hopefully he gets back to stable employment and he can resume his just normal cost of living. So we can see he eventually stabilizes around month 7, where he's about back to his starting amount being around the 40,000. Actually, it was 37,000 starting there. So it actually be around month 6 to 7. He is back to kind of where he was. So it's not in hopes of you finding a job within the 5 or 6 months. Is obviously the scary point at the start. We are going down, but it's nice that you can kind of look at this because it's not. Sometimes people imagine a job loss is a sudden drop. They calculate 6 months of expenses, but they don't always factor in the unemployment benefit. Obviously, things like this we want to cut all additional spending and keep the important things. Roof over your head, keep the lights on, food on the table, stuff like that. So, excuse me. But yeah, as we go through, it's really cool. There's a lot of great things in here. With the full analysis on the breakdown, you can see how each of his stats hold up for his liquidity, monthly spending, debt obligations, income recovery. There's a lot of cool things to really play around with in here. Again, with the scenario details, is starting liquid assets, lowest liquid assets, total drawdown. This is a really good tool in case you are worried. Let's say you maybe have a layoff coming up or a job change, which might cause a break in your income, or maybe you're worried about some other things such as an unexpected home repair, unpaid leave, income reduction. I mean, there's a lot of things that we can really play around with in here to kind of just see what it would look like. Obviously, the guidelines, we want to make sure we have at least 6 months of an emergency fund, if not further in the job market, especially nowadays. I think 12 months is ideal, but obviously it's not the easiest thing to obtain, to have that liquidity, especially when we are paying bills and we are putting hopefully 15% towards retirement. But this is a super useful tool on the Grademyfinance website, and I hope some of you guys are able to use it. And have any feedback or things you'd like to see added, I'm open to making any adjustments, updates. I'm putting time into this as much as I can. So almost kind of like a second job at this point, just a fun little project. But yeah, I appreciate you guys watching. Hopefully, see you over at the Grademyfinance Discord. And yeah, thanks for watching.